Hello my beautiful people and welcome to my channel. In this space I'm going to be sharing with you monthly general tarot readings as well as my TikTok lives, and I'll also be sharing with you essential oil education and, excitingly, my podcast interviews for my podcast. I'm Kitty O'Brien and thank you so much for joining me here. So for the best free online tarot readings and for the most accurate tarot readings, hit that little bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video, and the subscribe button. Hey guys, so I will be doing a general reading for the month of December for Taurus, I do believe. Yes, for Taurus, because we are the element of earth. I've got my lovely decks here and I'm going to be using some plant magic, but if anybody wants to know these ones, one of my favourite, Radiant Wise Tarot deck. I love them. I love them because they're nice and chunky. Right, ooh, crumbs. Oh, crumbs. Okay. Ouch! That's an intense beginning to a reading. Guys! December is going to start off a little bit rough, but it's going to get better. Just be prepared. And I think it's because of stuff that's going on in the month of November. It always carries on. Oh, crumbs. Ah. Okay, we're looking at a cycle that's going to be completed. We got a huge amount of the major arcana. We got Temperance, we got Empress, we got World, we got Moon, we got Judgment. Jeez, these are heavyweights, guys. 3 more cards. And I shall. Okay. Oh, loads of bowls of essential oils over there. Okay, I think I'm a bit wonky as well, but hey ho, it's fine. I don't do video editing and fancy stuff. I'm like, nah, that ain't me. Take it or leave it, just as I am. Right. You can probably tell I don't do filters either. Before I even start on this, I'm going to do the plant magic to support us with the reading before we begin. And I really feel for this one, we need some healing waters. If you haven't heard of the Healing Waters Oracle deck, absolutely phenomenal, by Rebecca Campbell. And they're beautiful. And they've got the book as well. I'm just going to tune into these. Very sacred energy. And there we go. That was that. That was really quick. I was expecting a good old shuffle there, but no. Yes. So as much as it starts off pretty rough this month, and I will go through that with you, it does end on a really beautiful note. And I'm going to leave this card with the future card because I'm not spoiling it. It's like jumping to the end of the story or skipping to the good part in a film. But I will still pull some plant magic and I will tell you what that beautiful card says at the end. By the way, before I forget, because I forget to say this every single reading, I'm making a membership site where we'll have the extended versions of these videos, because it's like 20-minute reading. It's really really quick, and there's so many more other decks that I want to use, but I just can't fit them all in. And also I'm going to be using this deck. It's an explicit deck, erotic I should say. I'm not allowed to use it on YouTube. I'll get told off, but it's basically for intimacy. So we're going to be chucking some intimacy in there as well. And I think it always helps when you know what's going on in the bedroom. What am I doing? I'm looking for a book. Caraway. If I can pick the card up. Sorry, my hands aren't working. And you know what? I say this every time as well. I keep forgetting to do the mirror thing on the phone, so everything's backwards. So sorry, guys. Caraway is a beautiful oil. Here we go. Right. Oh, well, oh my goodness. It's funny that I remember to talk about the other deck and intimacy, and then we get this card. Allow the words, I love you, to pass from your lips and more. So it's about the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is all about creativity. It's also about pleasure and about intimacy. It's the planet Mercury. So it's about communication, mind, and curiosity. It's the house of Virgo, so health and well-being, structure, and service. And the element of Akasha, I can never say this word, I've got dyslexia. Akasha. It's about the soul, core essence, potentiality, and inner drive. Now, this description links straight into this first card, which I'm going to show you in a second. So step away from anything that is draining your energy. Resolve any issues now before it escalates. Safeguard your valuables. Just because the past was turbulent does not mean the future must remain the same. I can see you've had a past as well. All relationships have challenging times, and these are the opportunities to learn, grow, and evolve. It is safe to love. I love that. Being able, avoid being fickle in love. Remind those close to you how much you love them. Your dreams are trying to give you a message. So, you place high importance on protecting what you love, and it is valuable to you. And it's value to you. So the practice, you pop a drop. Now they're big bottles, okay, and they come out quick. So we're talking about essential oils from doTERRA here. I've got eucalyptus, excuse me, eucalyptus, peppermint, and wild orange on my table, just because I made my cleansing spray bottle, and I just spray that over myself. I spray it over the work surfaces. It's divine. I use it on my little boy. Really cleanses the aurora as well. Now they're 15ml bottles. That's about 230 uses. So you know it's a decent amount. So yeah, pop a drop onto your hand. I'm going to read that again. I keep saying about the hand. You can put a drop on your hand. Add a drop to your purse, wallet, or handbag to protect your valuables, and diffuse it at your home to protect your loved ones. Massage 2 drops of Caraway over your stomach for support in dealing with relationships. Okay? And if you don't have that oil, you can use fennel or geranium as well to substitute it. Now. Let's pop that over here. I'll put the link to that in the description box because I normally do. If I find out where to put the button now. Right. And that really links into this first card, which is the Nine of Swords. And this is all about sleepless nights, racing thoughts, a bit of insomnia, depression, anxiety, waking up and thinking, oh my God, and then not being able to get back to sleep. Or it could be that it takes you forever to get to sleep in the first place, and then you constantly wake during the night. And I've had it before. You wake up and your heart is racing and you're sweating and you're like, oh Jesus, you know. So it's a really uncomfortable situation to be in, and your thoughts go round and around and around, and you have the same conversation in your head thousands of times, you know, and it's like despair, isn't it? But you can, I mean, there is a story to this card. It's a little bit on the gruesome side. You can get yourself out of the situation. Now, the reason why the swords are lined up above the bed is because you can climb up the swords and escape that situation, but it's climbing up them without cutting your feet. Okay, can you find a way? And the answer is yes, you can, because your future looks really good. There's a few little things we've got to tackle, but it looks really good. And I feel like this situation's been going on for a while, you know. Now, what's coming up as an obstacle is the Four of Wands, which is all about happiness, and it's about celebration, it's about joy, it's about relationships as well, coming together as two equals, it's about balancing the divine masculine with the divine feminine, and, you know, you can see the pillars on each side, which represent duality and balance. Now, it's coming up as a slight obstacle because it's hard to celebrate and feel good when you got loads of stuff going on. And it just drains you, doesn't it? It takes up everything. It takes up all your energy. You can't think about anything else. And even when something good happens, sometimes it's quite hard to feel happy about it. So it's coming up as a slight blockage, but there is something to be celebrated, and that's for what you have right now. Like, being gratitude for what you have is really important, because then we use the law of attraction and we attract more things in to be grateful for. Now, you got Temperance as your card that you desire. This card represents your desires, and it's about balance. You know, it's Archangel Gabriel, which is the angel of healing. It's got the moon and the sun, so balancing between the moon and the sun. And also, we've got the moon and we've got the Empress, which represents the moon as well, because she's the divine feminine. So the moon comes up a lot, and the question is, are you paying attention to the moon cycles? If you're a woman and you're watching this and you still have cycles, we are meant to be in tune with the moon, but we take the pill, we got artificial lighting, like it's really throwing our cycles out of sync, and they actually should be in timing with the moon cycles. Now, and it's all about balance and coming back to ourselves, isn't it? So the Temperance has got the water and the land. Now, the water represents your subconscious mind and the land represents your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is your logical mind, the subconscious is the emotional mind. And it's all about the balance, okay? Our subconscious is where our conditioning took place, so it forms our, our habits, our belief system, our thought patterns, how we behave, how we act. That all comes from the subconscious mind. And when we have limiting beliefs and stuff in place... Oh, someone's calling me. Sorry, I don't know who it is because I'm recording. And has it paused recording? It has not paused recording. That's probably my mum, so we'll get back to her in a second. Or is it? Let me just have a little look-ski. No, it was a client. So, sorry, I do a lot of readings, and it's one of the clients trying to ring me. Blank. I'm like, I've just got brain fog there. Temperance, balance. So it's all about journeying the path through the mountains to get to the sun. So sometimes we have these really difficult things in our life, and we just got to work through them because it's part of the journey, it's part of the process. It's part of living here in this body, and it's what our soul has come here to experience as well. So it's just a phase. It's just a phase. And what I was talking about with the subconscious mind and stuff, when you recognize those belief systems, when you recognize the triggers and you're conscious about them and there's an awareness, that's when you can start changing them and stepping into the next best version of yourself. Which brings us to the Empress. The Empress is about abundance. She's about abundance. She's about joy. There could be a situation unfolding with your mother, or it could be that you are a mum. It could be a pregnancy. She's the only pregnant card in the deck. Or if this is a man watching, it could be something to do with your child, or, a pregnancy, like partner or anything like that. It also can represent the birth of a new business idea or new opportunities or adventure. It doesn't physically have to be a baby. She represents the planet of love, so planet of Venus. It's about abundance, it's about the good harvest, it's about reaping the rewards from really hard work. So she is just a great card to get. So all good things coming in. And then we've got your past. Your past, I can see you've worked your ass off. I think you've worked your ass off most of your life. And being a Taurus, you probably have. Like, you just keep going, don't you? You just keep going, just keep plodding, just keep going. And that is very much a Taurus energy, just plodding along, just going no matter what, just keep plodding, keep one foot in front of the other, go, go, go. But you guys are also extremely hard workers. So I can see with the Eight of Pentacles in the past, you've been working your butt off. And it's time to start reaping the rewards. Put the anxiety down, ground yourself. The more anxious you feel, the more you attract in, because what we think and feel is what we attract into our lives. So just remember that with the law of attraction, and you can really turn things on its head. Now, the moon. The moon can represent a couple of things, actually. The moon represents the moon, so it's romance. It represents duality and balance. So these two cards represent you. You're also seeing the two faces of the moon. Because when we look at the moon in the night sky, we only ever see one face. We never see both faces, but it's here in the card. Again, the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. And with the clawfish coming out of the water, that represents something coming forward for you. So something in your mind is going to come forward now. That could be recognizing where this anxiety is coming from. It could be recognizing a limiting belief. So something's going to come forward for you. Like it could be a learnt behavior or anything like that, and there's going to be an awareness around it. We've also got the dog and the wolf, again, duality and balance. Trust your gut instinct as well with the wolf. Now the moon can also mean that there's something hidden at the moment. So there's something that is coming forward and it's not in your awareness yet, but it's definitely in the pipeline and it's going to show itself soon. And then we got judgment. I feel like you judge yourself all the time and you beat yourself up all the time. It also represents end of day, so new beginnings. So this chapter in your life, it's just a phase, remember? So it's coming to a close, and then you're going to have a new chapter open in your life. And that's really interesting that you got this, which represents coming full circle and starting a new chapter, because one of your future cards, or the future card, is the World, which also represents coming full circle, this part of your life finishing, closing, chapter finished, new one starting. Hopes and fears. This is why I'm doing a membership site, guys, because I'm like blah, 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 blah. And it's a lot of information. I feel like I talk at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and there's so many other decks I want to just pull in. But I'm not allowed to use some of them. And there's just so much more. There's so much more to these readings. So yeah, come January, I'll start doing the extended versions. This is interesting. Because it does mean conflict. It's your hopes and your fears. So it's inner conflict. I almost feel like saying there's a situation in your life right now and you wish you could just fight it off. And that's it. Finished. Done. Over. Just done. But then conflict isn't nice, and most of us are people pleasers. It also can mean fighting unseen enemies, so like things that aren't really there. But it can also mean there's been a bit of a battle and now you're taking a bit of a break from it, but there's still that anxiety. Like it's your hopes that the break will last forever, but your fears is that it will come back. What I'm going to do is, I love this book. I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm training with this deck at the moment. 7. Yeah. Ooh, okay. So it can mean good things as well. Actually, I had this. I did a reading for myself a couple of months ago when I was going through a really difficult situation, and it brought me so much hope. I mean, it scared the hell out of me, but it brought me so much hope as well, because it was actually the future card. So I'm going to read it to you. When the 7 of Wands turns up in a reading, it is a notice that you're about to face a challenge, one you will thoroughly enjoy. So the challenge, that's the fear, is the challenge. But then when you start facing the challenge, you realize, actually, you've got this. It may be a sort of personal test where you take on the challenge just for the fun of it and see how far you can advance your skills. This card shows the use of muscle and movement with restraint and style. Your enthusiasm, ambition, and wit will serve you here. The card appearing in a reading assures you that you will overcome obstacles and rise above them with style, wit, and humour. I like that. So you will rise above them. You will rise above those challenges. So that's probably why it's in the hopes and fears place. Now, actually, I'm going to get the book again, because I love the way she describes the kings. The kings, the kings, the kings. And you've got a King of Cups. Now, Cups is all about emotion. It is the element of water. And I can't find it in the book. Give me a tick. Dun, 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 dun. Cups, 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 cups. Here we go. Now, it also represents Pisces, by the way, but I love how she writes it. So this is your future, okay? There's three outcome cards that support your future card. A mature, wise man who is well-versed, okay? So that well-versed in different areas of life. In this book, it talks about witchcraft, so well-versed in the craft. But in this aspect, it's well-versed in different areas of life. This card represents an individual who is artistic, intuitive, creative, and passionate. Physically, he has dark blonde to light brown hair with a grey touch and blue or green eyes. He is a good friend, a loving and attentive husband, or a devoted father. The King of Cups gives good, solid advice when needed. This card can represent a quiet man who keeps his emotions to himself but can be moody. He is, however, deeply emotional, and he has a tough outer shell to disguise a soft and loving interior. He often sees what most people would prefer to keep hidden. This card represents an individual who is an excellent mediator, psychically talented and gifted, and he's strong and fair. The lesson from the King of Cups, so the lesson is that wisdom comes from within. Temper your counsel of others with compassion and affection. So the lesson is wisdom comes from within. Wisdom comes from within. Now we've also got the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles represents someone holding on to something really freaking tightly. It's in the mind, the heart, and it grounds you. So it's your connection as well. It makes you feel grounded, I should say. Now, usually this card means you're clinging onto something in an unhealthy way. You really don't want to let it go. Now, this could be a situation, it could be work, it could be a person, it could be a relationship, but you're clinging on really tight. And when you cling on tight to something, you sort of almost suffocate it. You stop the energy from flowing. Now, the lesson with this card is really just to release, to let go. And I know that's really hard sometimes, but to let go and just, let it be and just be, and try and let that energy flow. And if it's meant to be, it will be. And if it's not, it won't be, But yeah, it often represents, and it also represents like really finding it difficult to change. Like you're pretty stubborn around change and you don't like change. So yeah, actually, yeah. Learn from that, like use that wisdom, use that gut feeling, okay? Really tap into your gut feeling and your intuition and your wisdom. It could also represent a person coming into your life. Don't hold on to stuff that no longer serves you. It's not healthy. Let it go. And once you do that, just watch, okay? I know it's going to be really difficult, but just step back and just watch. You've planted those seeds. Whatever's happened has happened, and just watch and let it unfold naturally and how it should do. And then, you come full circle. This chapter then closes in your life, and you're opening, you got a beautiful fresh page for something new to come in. And also, I was just going to say something there. If you hold on to stuff that no longer serves you, and the universe is trying to give you new good stuff, you're not going to be able to receive it because there's no space in your life. If you let go of things and just let them go and put them to bed and move on, then there's going to be space, and energetically there will be space to let new things into your life. Now let's read this quickly. The King of Tides, which is all about plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. Because you're not holding on to stuff that shouldn't be in your life. Right, the King of Tides. 96. I love reading from my little books. I know some readers hate it, but they were written for a reason. An especially high tide that occurs several times a year when the moon is either new or full and it's closest to the earth in its monthly orbit. The King of Tide swells the waters of the world. The King Tide is a time of plenty and abundance. It is a time when everything seems to be at its fullest and most alive. The king delivers, or this card delivers, a message of receiving all that you've created because you let it grow and you don't stifle it. Of opening yourself up to truly enjoy the bounty of where you are while it's here. Let's let in summer when the days are at their longest and our energy seems to be at its fullest. We've encouraged to embrace all of life with open arms, to receive wholly and fully while we can. Perhaps you've been working towards this moment for a very long time. This is your reminder to enjoy it while it's here, to welcome all that knocks on your door, to experience all that life has to offer you right now. This card is the full blooming flower and the season of summer. Enjoy the fruits of your labour, lie on the soft grass and take in the view. Do what you love and what makes you come most alive. Relish everything about this moment. What you're longing for is ready for you to embrace. Be ready to receive. So the soul inquiry is, what have you been working towards? And how can you open yourself up to receiving it more fully now while it's here? So beautiful, so beautiful. Well, my lovelies, I hope you enjoyed that and I hope it resonated with you. And yeah, I'll see you next month, January. But I'll be back before then doing other little readings with some oils and stuff. All right then.